Another beautiful day here in New York, and today, really quick video. Just want to go over two sentences I saw recently that have no place in your main personal statement, your main college application essay. And I want to go over these specifically because I saw and read that these were ideal sentences and they simply aren't. So just two of them real quick. Let's look at them and I'll point out what to do instead, another alternative. So the first sentence is this is seen as suggested as an ideal sentence for your college application. The writer just told a story. This is how I began to master important study skills. So the essay covers the theme of learning study skills, and which is a pretty boring topic if you ask me. And this is kind of a sentence to summarize the boring story about the student's evolution in learning study skills. This is how I began to master important study skills. Or maybe that's the intro sentence. This is how I began to master important study skills. Boring topic to start. And you always want to show, you don't want to tell. So if you really feel like you need the sentence, this is how I began to master important study skills, if you need to be that explicit, I don't even want to think about how horrible your story was, right? You want to show what happens in your essay. You don't necessarily need to have an introduction or conclusion sentence. This is what the essay was about. This is when I learned teamwork is important. Now, I wouldn't want to talk about study skills. I really honestly wouldn't want to talk about teamwork. More so, you don't want to explicitly mention I'm going to talk about this boring topic. So another video will cover exciting ways to make your essay interesting, exciting, poignant, have a salient addition to your college app. Doesn't involve teamwork, doesn't necessarily involve study skills. You can make anything work, but I would try to avoid it. Definitely avoid summarizing what you're talking about, though. Like this essay is about this. This essay was about that. If you need to be that explicit, you didn't show. You're going out and telling the person, which hopefully is redundant, and hopefully you did tell an interesting story, and it's just a redundant sentence. But you want to have a storytelling that speaks for itself. You don't need a sentence or concluding sentence to summarize what you already told the reader. Another sentence, I wear Crocs every day, even to weddings, because I like bright colors and comfort. This sentence was suggested to readers of a kind of a community of parents. Have your daughter write, I wear Crocs every day, even to weddings, because I like bright colors and comfort. Now, I'm a fan for a creative essay. Everybody who's worked with me, you're amazed with how you come up with an essay that's very unique, very personal, and also creative, and the reader wants to read every sentence. You have the reader hooked. I work tirelessly in helping students craft those essays. But this sentence, yeah, it's unique. You wear Crocs all the time, but you have to look at it from the perspective of admissions. Why would you wear Crocs to a wedding, right? It's weird almost for the sake of being weird, and whether or not it's true, it doesn't reflect well on the applicant. Honesty in the college application process is incredibly important. That's what separates the applicant pile from rejected, waitlisted, and accepted. You get accepted if you're honest, if you connect with the reader, if you have empathy, but you still need to maintain your image. I don't know why you would want to write that you wear Crocs to a wedding. Makes me wonder what other kind of weird things you're going to do on campus. So in other words, use common sense. Don't feel like you need to be weird just to be weird and different. You can stand out in the right way through connecting, writing a lot of drafts, refining your drafts, constantly improving what you're writing. And honesty is different from just weirdness. And obviously, I'll cover another video. I'll have another video that covers that topic, but taboo topics in essays versus interesting topics that kind of push the boundaries and stand out. There is a fine line there, but it's a pretty clear line. Once you watch other videos, we'll get to that. But at the very least, don't write about how you're wearing Crocs to weddings and funerals because you like the comfort. Hopefully this video helped, and stay tuned for more. I'm David Richard. Thanks.